Okay, cool. So this is the first interview series for the Startup Weekend Cork. The Startup Weekend in Cork is happening on the 21st to 23rd of November of 2014. So with us now today is Robbie Skuse, who actually won the Irish Student Startup Weekend back in April. He's still working on his project, so we're going to ask him some questions, get some more information about how the experience was and what he's up to these days. So do you want to introduce yourself, Robbie?
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Robbie Skuse. I was lucky enough to win the startup weekend that was aimed at Irish students about 4 or 5 months ago at this stage. Ended up taking my project on. I'm still working on it, and we're hoping to be live with actual customers in the new year, January. So it's pretty exciting, and basically startup weekend was where it all started. So I'm looking forward to sharing my experience with you today.
Cool. So had you heard of a startup again before you participated in April, or?
I had heard what they were. I kind of had a very, very high level of what they were, but I never really knew what was involved in them. The breakdown is quite, um, quite structured and organized. But I would never would have been aware of what exactly it entails, other than a bunch of entrepreneurs go in and try and set up businesses.
Hmm.
So I kind of looked into it a bit more. I was planning on doing a startup when I came out of college anyway, so I kind of thought this would just be a fantastic experience, an opportunity for me to get out there, voice my startup, get a feedback, get a bit of help on it. So when I kind of found out more about what it actually was, I was just 100% committed to becoming involved in it.
Yeah, it's that kind of learning by doing kind of experience, whereas you go through 4 years of college and you don't get the same kind of experience.
No.
So you kind of mentioned there that you had ideas of starting your own startup. So was that the main motivation for doing it, or what were the reasons why you might
Uh,
be doing it?
Yeah, it was always something that I had in mind. Now, not everyone who does a startup weekend is necessarily going to go into a startup or is planning on setting up their own business. A lot of them could have, corporate jobs, stable jobs, but just kind of wanted to maybe start a little side project. Just for me, it just so happened that I was always interested in kind of setting up my own business, and an opportunity had arose for me that would enable me to set up a business as soon as I came out of college, and not to go down the kind of corporate and get experience first route. Now, a lot of people do that and then come back out, and that's, it makes no difference as to which way you go. But I knew that I was going to be setting up my own business, and I hadn't started working on it or anything like that. I just kind of said, this is something we plan to execute as soon as I come out of college. And when the startup weekend said, I said, I may as well just get a start on it now while I have access to these resource mentors, the team, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So what were your biggest kind of learnings from the whole experience?
It's a really, really good insight into kind of what's involved in setting up a business from the pitch day one, which I was kind of warned about. They're like, you need to get that right. You go, pitching, you're in front of judges, you working with the team, you got to kind of manage the team to a degree. It's very kind of a team effort. Everyone's equal. There's no leaders, but you're the one who's just got a voice, what it is that you want done.
Yeah.
But when you look at those skills and the skills that I'm now using in a startup, when I'm chatting to investors, when I'm working with the development team at the moment, like what went on that weekend is really just, a kind of mini scale of what the actual real life is. Um, so it's just
Yeah,
fantastic in terms of
yeah,
that.
that's been a good experience. So you kind of mentioned there about the pitch and how you were kind of warned beforehand that you need to kind of nail that 60-second pitch. So how did you approach it, or is there any kind of tips that you'd like to share with people who might be pitching next week?
Yeah, the pitch is absolutely everything. You've got 60 seconds to voice your idea and try and swing the crowd there to, number one, understand your idea, and number two, kind of, believe in it and want to help you. Um, if you don't prepare, you just won't get across what it is you're trying to say, what it is you're trying to do, and then people just won't understand and they won't vote for you. You need to prepare. I could find you my pitch now and send it to you. It's I had written down. I'd done it up in Word a couple of times, and then myself and one of the lads that I was with, we must have went through it 30 odd times before the day. Friday about 2 o'clock, I grabbed a coffee. We went and I just said it, and again and again and again, and he just constantly gave me feedback on what I needed to improve, because essentially you've got to get everything you want to achieve into 60 seconds, and if you're murmuring or you're saying sentences that aren't relevant, then straight away you're losing time, and you're just people aren't going to fully understand. So you just need to practice your pitch, and people will know the difference between someone who's practiced and someone who hasn't. I practice, and I like to think that's why people understood what I wanted to do and why I got enough votes to bring my idea through to the weekend.
Yeah. So how does the 60-second pitch kind of differentiate from the 5-minute pitch at the end? Did you go through a similar kind of process of practicing with your team over the course of the weekend, or how did you?
Yeah, it was pretty similar. The 60-second one, obviously, you just have so little time, and you want to get everything that you want to do across. So you just need to, every sentence needs to be relevant to a point. There's no time for irrelevant facts. Or what I find helps is if you can tell a story, if you can put it into kind of terms that everyone can kind of connect with. They're like, oh, actually, I do get what you mean by that. So definitely storytelling is the good thing. And then, so basically you go in, you pitch, you get a team together, and on the last day you get 5 minutes to present all the work you did at the weekend. People sometimes get caught up in being, let's just keep working, and let's not work on the pitch. But for us at about Sunday, about 2 hours before the actual final pitches, we all went to a room, and there was 2 of us presenting. We presented. The team was just fantastic. They just tore us to bits the first time, tore us to bit a little less, and we just did it for 2 hours straight. And they were like, yeah, that's good. That one sentence, that's not relevant to anything. Cut that out. And we just kept refining until you get 5 minutes, and everything you say in that 5 minutes has to be relevant, because that's what the judges have to go on. They don't have how many lines of code you wrote or what interviews you did. They have what you say in those 5 minutes to go on.
Very good. So you kind of mentioned there about the customer feedback and the code. So how much coding did you guys get done over the weekend, and how much customer feedback did you get? I think those are 2 important assets as well as the actual pitch.
Very much so, yeah. I got a team of 6 when I did it, and the team I have was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the energy, not just my team, but the whole room, you can just see that everybody is just so involved. And one interesting point is, I remember, just on a slightly different note, that at the end of the Saturday, someone said, this weekend is phenomenal. Like, everyone is just so focused. I haven't checked my Facebook, my Twitter, my Snapchat. If I go to the library to study for an hour, I'll have done that 6 times. And just everybody is just so focused. So we split our team into 2, one doing the business side and one doing the technical side. So there's 2 of us coding, 1 graphic designer just asking, send that across to me, while the business side, they went about getting customer feedback, validating market sizes, and just 2 teams of 3 working on different sides but working together, and just absolute complete focus. And we got a phenomenal amount of work done by splitting up the 2, because the judges have to work on what you build and what you're presenting. So both are as equally as important as the other. You can't give preference to one.
Yeah. No, it really is amazing what you can build in 54 hours, and I think you can, when you do your own startup as well, you can always relate back to, okay, I have to have a big real life pitch for a big customer. What can I achieve in 54 hours? And I think that's something really unique about the startup weekend, that you can use that experience to help you with your actual startup. So I think that's about it. But do you have any general advice for people that might be sitting on the fence with, do I go to a startup weekend, do I not, or I am going? How can you offer like one nugget of advice to them to make the most of it?
100% go. Whether you don't want to pitch, firstly I recommend that you do pitch, regardless of how ridiculous your idea is. One of the lads who did it with us wasn't even going to pitch, said he wanted the experience, and ended up coming second. He literally decided during the pitches that he had this idea in the back of his head that he had never made public, and so anyone is just, even for the experience, if you don't get through, that doesn't matter. If you don't want to pitch, then go join a team. It's just a phenomenal experience. The energy, the passion of the whole weekend, everyone's working so hard. For anybody who's pitching, practice your pitch first. And when it gets to the votes, it's not over then. You need to hustle. Someone comes over to you thinking about giving you their vote, you got to sell it to them again. You got to say, hey, this was me. Did you have any questions? And they, get talking to them and just sell it to them again and again. This time you can get more than a minute to sell it to them. They can bring up any questions with it. And then when it's the team as well, you need to be constantly working. You can't just hope a team will come to you. I got 2 developers, a graphic designer, and 3 business. I balance it. But if you step back, you might only get 2 business people. You need to be, oh, you're a developer. I'd love you to work for me. You know, I'd love you to work on my idea and sell it to them again and again. Like, it's not just the pitch, it's the votes, the team assembly, and then, you know, everyone will work hard for the weekend. You know, everyone is there, you know, to work with you and for you, and, you know, everyone is working together on it, which was, you know, phenomenal. And then just don't underestimate the importance of prepping for the pitch on the final day. You know, my team took me apart time and time again, but in the end we kind of got across what we wanted to say.
Yeah.
Only because of the preparation that happened.
You need that tough love.
Yeah.
Not criticism.
Get involved. Go. It's just one of the best weekends that you can ever get involved in, and no matter where you come or what you do, I don't think anyone has any regrets. Everybody can take something from the experience, new connections, you know, everything. Everybody's a winner when you go.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. So just to remind people that the Startup Weekend in Cork is happening on the 21st to 23rd of November, which is next weekend. Go to cork.up.co to book tickets and kind of see the mentors and judges and speakers that you'll be kind of working with over the course of the weekend. Just want to thank Robbie again for being interview number 1.
Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next weekend at Startup Weekend.
All right, take care, guys.